Hi, this is Ben Ivey, the fulfillment artist. And in this video, we're going to be looking into how do you overcome fear and anger. So firstly, we're going to look into fear. So what is fear? Fear is where we perceive something to be a threat or a danger to us. And this can be anything in life. But what happens is, because we're human and we are built as a fear-based creature, we tend to fear things that aren't really there. But let's go back to the ancient times, because our brain is very, very old. So let's imagine that we were courageous based. So we see a dinosaur, a human is courageous, and we go out there and then we die, but we're courageous. So then all the humans do it and then we'd be extinct. Instead, we're fear-based. We saw a big dinosaur and we thought that would be very silly to go out there and be courageous. Let's hide in a cave, or let's hide and let's be fearful, but then we'll survive. And that's what your brain has kept with it throughout decades, throughout hundreds of years, thousands of years. And it stayed the same as fear-based. So for some of you watching this video, you're thinking, oh, how can I get rid of fear? Or why am I so fearful? You were created to be fearful. So if you're looking to just get rid of fear and it to not exist, that's impossible. But what we're going to be looking into is, what are the fears that we have as humans? And what are the fears that we create? So there are two fears that every single person is born with. And that is the fear of loud noises and the fear of falling. Because these are the two things that, if you think, when we were cavemen, loud noises, animals, those things, that's danger. And fear of falling, if we fall off cliffs, or if we fall from heights, we're going to die as well. So these are the two things that everyone has, to some extent. Every single other fear that you have in your life is created. It is a belief. It has been formed through your environment, through traumas, through your peers, maybe through your parents. But they're fears that you've held on to. Now, if you look at Tony Robbins, he says that all fears whittle down to the fear of not being enough or the fear of not being loved. And you can look into lots of research on, okay, what fears do we face, but right now I'm looking into giving you some strategies to remove fear and allow you to be able to deal with it on a level where it's there, but it doesn't control you anymore. You're removing the controlling factor. So what's the first thing? The first thing is, fear is just fear. That's it. Fear is just fear. So once you know that fear is just fear, then you can move forward, because instead of you going, oh no, I'm really scared, I'm really fearful, you can go, okay, I understand why I'm feeling fearful at this point in time. I get it. It's because I've thought about this, and instead of you getting worried and stuck and just not moving forward, you can act despite the fear. So remember that fear is just that, it's just fear. And you can move forward while being fearful. Because the truth is no one is fearless. No one. But people act despite fear. Next, dance with the fear. So what do I mean by this? So let's say your brain is saying something to you like, oh no, you shouldn't go up and speak to that person. Oh no, you shouldn't go on stage and speak in front of people. Oh no, you shouldn't invest in that. And you've got all this fear coming up. I just want you to use the strategy of, okay, well, dance with it. Don't pretend it's not there. Say, okay, thank you for sharing. And now I'm going to go do what I want to do. Dance with it. Don't pretend it's not there. Don't fight it. Just dance with it. Accept it's there. Thank it for sharing, and then move on. Number 3 is remove what if. So what do I mean by this? Removing what if is, oh, well, what if I go up to the girl, I slip, and then, I die, and then it's the worst thing ever, and all I wanted to do was ask for a number. What if, what if, what if? And our friends and everyone around us often say the what if scenario. You say, I want to set up a business. Oh, what if you fail? What if you can't pay rent? What if it goes horribly wrong? And there's all these what ifs. Well, instead of looking at the what ifs that are causing all this fear, look at the other what ifs. Okay, so remove the shitty what ifs and look at the better what ifs, which is, what if you just stay where you are and just stay fearful for the rest of your life? You'll just be insignificant. You'll just stay there doing nothing. You will just stay there just being you, being fearful and stuck. So instead, you need to look at, okay, what if I wasn't a pussy and I started taking action? What if this was a moment where I decided for myself that fear is no longer going to control me? That's powerful. That's where you start moving forward despite all this fear that's being created in your mind, that's just being created because you're a human. And number 4 is fear is a challenge, which is great. Every time you're feeling fear, that's amazing. Instead of you saying you can't, you say you must now. Now that it's fear, you've got to do it because it's a challenge. I remember when I did my skydive, I was petrified. I mean, I've walked on like boiling hot coal. I've done loads of other different things. I've spoken on stage. I've done TEDs, like loads of stuff. But I'm telling you now, there was nothing more petrifying than being on the side of a plane. That was fearful. That was very scary. But that was amazing because it was a challenge. It was great. It made me feel alive. Fear is where you're out of your comfort zone doing things that are different and you don't know what's going to happen. That is the spice of life. Enjoy it. Instead of being fearful of it and trying to overcome it, love it. Can you imagine if you reframed that in your life? Imagine how much of a difference it would make if instead of you being hating fear, like actually loving fear, that it's a good thing for you. So in summary, number 1, fear is just fear. Number 2, dance with fear. Number 3, remove what if. And number 4, fear is a challenge, which is great. Next, we're going to be moving on to anger. So how do you overcome anger? Well, let's look into what is anger. Anger is an emotion. It's an emotion that we experience that a lot of people tend to go towards if something happens. Let's say something doesn't go well, oh, I'm angry. Let's say someone breaks up with you, I'm angry. And often it's a go-to for many people. So how do you overcome this go-to that you have? Because you're basically an angry person waiting to happen. If you're watching this video and this is resonating with you, it's true. There are just situations, you're just a brewing little anger bottle, preparing to just get more angry. And it doesn't matter what happens, you've got these patterns that you do. So there are these 8 different things that I've come up with that will really help you overcome this anger. Number 1, understand your pattern. So what does this mean? This means you need to understand what makes you angry. Understand the scenarios, understand everything. Like, well, when do I get angry? Why do I get angry? What is the pattern? What is the pattern that I do? I get angry and I look at things and I think about what I've lost, or I think about what I haven't got, or it's always to do with a female person or a male person. That you need to sit down now, stop the video and identify, when am I most angry? When do I get angry? And write it down. I'm not going to tell you how to sort of complete this yourself. This is something that you need to do yourself because everyone gets angry for different reasons. So right now, stop the video and identify the patterns that make you angry. That's the first thing. You need to understand your patterns. Next, number 2, interrupt the patterns. So for myself, I know there are some things that make me angry. For example, with Wi-Fi, when I can't connect to Wi-Fi, I really want to sort everything out. Let's say I've got things to upload, I need to speak to someone and my Wi-Fi is cut out. That makes me angry. And instead, I need to say, okay, this is a strategy. I just interrupt it. Instead of me going, I just lie on the floor, like in a starfish shape, right? I just completely change my physiology, change my posture, and I do some other things that I'll mention, and that just completely changes it. Instead of you with your fist tense, right, just relax or put your arms up. Do something completely different. Because if you do something different, it interrupts that habitual pattern that you're used to that makes you angry. Number 3, change the meaning. What do we mean here? What we mean is change the meaning that you're giving something to make you angry. So for example, the reason you're angry is because you say, oh, well, this happened to me, or this isn't right, or this should be this, or da-da-da. Change the meaning. Instead say, okay, instead of, let's say your laptop broke. You go, oh, it's broken, this sucks, well, it always happens to me. Say, okay, it broke. What meaning can I give this? This is probably a good thing, I should probably take the day off. This is probably a good thing because it means that I'm going to get a better laptop in the future. Even though I'm angry that I'm late, this is probably a good thing because it was probably going to be boring for the first bit anyway. It's out of my control, so let's chill out. The Wi-Fi is not that bad. It could be worse. We still have internet. The world's internet hasn't completely crashed. It's just for this moment. And by changing the meaning, it'll allow you to not get angry, and it'll allow you to move forward in a different way. Number 4, gratitude. Gratitude is really important because you cannot be grateful and angry at the same time. It's one of the best ways to interrupt a pattern and stop you being angry. Think of 5 things that you're grateful for in that moment. Close your eyes, think of 5 things you're grateful for, genuinely grateful for. And you can't be angry. It's impossible. So think about when you're next angry, what can I do? How can I immediately make myself think of things that I'm grateful for instead? And if you start doing this time and time again, it will get easier and easier, and then you won't experience the uncontrollable level of anger that you're currently experiencing. Number 5, exercise. Exercise is a great way to, get out your testosterone, to start moving forward in a different way, and it means your body's not going to be aching and stressed, things like that. Instead, just exercise. Go for a run, go for a walk, go swimming, go to the gym. This is a fantastic way to just stop you being this angry bottle ready to explode. Instead, you can just be you. Number 6, avoid situations that make you angry. When I asked you to write down everything earlier, look at what's on your page and think, okay, of these things here, what situations primarily occur where all of these factors are there? And just don't have those situations. If there's a situation, for example, where you really hate it when you're extremely late to work in the morning, and it sometimes happens because sometimes the trains are late, get an earlier train. I mean, the problem's solved. Instead of you getting stressed and worrying about traffic and the tube and all these issues. So tailor your environment so that you don't have to get angry. Number 7, sleep more. When you're sleep deprived, you're more likely to get more anxious, more stressed, and just not nice. But if you sleep more, your brain will be more alert, you'll be more awake, and you'll be more focused. And you'll be able to be much more aware about when you go into these habitual patterns. Like, it's obvious. Like, when people are sleep deprived, they get more, anxious, they're more, So just sleep more. It's really simple. And the last one is, don't say, oh, I'm angry, I'm an angry person. Don't say that. Instead say, okay, I'm experiencing anger right now. Because it distances yourself and you realize it's an emotion, it's not you. It's just an emotion that you're feeling due to your past, due to, fear, whatever it is. And that in itself allows you to stop feeling that emotion as much. And that's a great way to decrease it. So I hope you've enjoyed these tips on how to overcome both anger and fear. But make sure to implement them. Like, write down whatever resonated, and really, ask yourself a question at the end of each day. How did I overcome anger? Like, did I use these things that I learned, as opposed to just watching video after video after video? Like, actually implement some of the stuff that I'm talking about, or rewatch the video and actually look at the points that really resonated with you. And with that, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Please comment if you've got any questions or you need any clarification. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you next week.